Hello everyone, Farah Hanoun here, and I'm joined by Jimmie Rivera, who takes on John Dodson at UFC 228 in Dallas, Texas. Hey Jimmy, how's it going?
It's going great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's your day been going so far?
Good. It's hot out today. It was a good day of training, and then getting to my school. It's really hot. It's almost 100 degrees out here, so it's nice and warm.
Wow, and you're about to coach, right?
Yeah, I have my classes start at 4 o'clock. My kids' classes, and then the adult classes start around 5:30. So I'm about to go in and teach a bit, teach some classes, and then hit my second workout a little later tonight.
Awesome, and I know how important coaching is to you. We talk about it all the time. I was looking over your Instagram and saw that you were a camp counselor at your gym, Tiger Schulman. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
We've done camps for kids over the summertime since they're off. Every summertime. We actually just did a huge camp organization wide where we had like the up and comers, kind of like what I did when I was a teenager. These up and coming kids from 13 to 17. We had about 20 kids come in, and we called the Next Generation Camp. Something I did 10, 11 years ago, where these kids who were red belt, brown belt, black belt level come in and train and get to train with the fighters and other instructors and get to see what a typical day of a fighter is. And they're really good kids, really humble kids, and really nice. And they get in there and they get to mix it up with each other and then some of the fighters as well, and really get a good training weekend. So we did a little sleepaway camp, and they had a blast.
Awesome, and it's nice to have something to fall back on financially with the fight game being so brutal, but you really do enjoy doing this. I mean, I also see you cornering your teammates quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great thing. I mean, some people don't have a back end, and you actually heard, talking about Bantamweight division, Cody saying he had to take that fight with TJ, his first title defense against TJ when he just needed the money in his back. He was injured. You have to have something to fall onto, and I've been doing this since I was a kid, training at Tiger Schulman's, and I started working when I was 13, and I fell into school in my early 20s, and I have my own school in New York City, and it goes well. And there's so many other things we could do besides that. And it's really not a fight school. It's just, teaching kids self-defense and self-discipline, and adults to teach them, get them in shape because they're tired of the gym, and learn self-defense at the same time.
Absolutely. And before we talk about your fight with Dodson, let's quickly revisit your last one. Not really a lot to dissect from it. You got caught early. It happens. It's the nature of the game. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was going to be a body kick. It came up to the head. It was a good kick. And that's it. I got caught. Dan jumped in, but, I was a little upset. But, Dan made the right call. I know he's looking out for the fighter's safety. So it is what it is. Really, you just, whatever, between me and even teaching these kids and even adults, no matter how you do, whether the outcome's good or bad, or it's not bad but not good, it's in the neutral, you learn from it. And that's the biggest thing. I learn from it and make myself better and move forward.
For sure. And yeah, you wanted to get back in there right away. Yeah, it was a stoppage loss, but you didn't take any serious damage from it. You weren't out cold or anything.
No, I was fine. The only thing I had was like a little bruise on my head from the kick. Besides that, the following week I went to a neurologist. He cleared me, and I was ready to go. June's a little bit of a busy month because it's Father's Day. You got my niece's birthday, my wife's birthday, my birthday. So that's why we shot for end of August, beginning of September, just because there's so much going on in June. So now I'm ready to get back. We're about a month, 5 weeks out, 4.5 weeks out. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. And you were close to getting a title shot before, first slated to fight Cruz. Then you went through all that drama with Marlon and his manager and trying to get that fight together. Was the idea of getting back in there right away to erase all of that and kind of get back on the horse?
Yeah, you know what? I don't like to lose. And I lost, and I want to get back in there and get back in the winning column. So I just, got cleared, started training right away, and got ready for the next fight.
And yeah, because you were unbeaten for years, do you feel like going over Dodson gets you right back to title contention?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of how the division works is kind of crazy. It's kind of interesting how the next 6 months will unfold to the end of the year of what's going to happen and who's going to fight who. But it's you're never too far away. Whether it's winning 1 or 2 fights, 3 fights, and then you get right back in there. It all depends too who you fight and who's next. Dotson's a very notable name, and when we went to the UFC that I wanted to fight, they gave me Dodson, and we just said, yeah, we'll take the fight and move forward from there.
And yeah, in your position, all you can do is fight, right? I mean, I see a trend. A lot of fighters, they kind of sit out and expect things to come to them. And with the way the game's been going, it's all about who's ready. Like, there are no rules anymore, right? Like, we've seen, like, Colby Covington's the interim welterweight champion, and he wasn't ready to go for September. UFC wanted September. All of a sudden, they throw Darren Till in. It's just the way the sport and the game is. If you're not ready, you're just not going to get that shot.
Exactly. So I always stay ready just in case, too, even if there's a title fight or a last-minute fight, if I need to jump in there. I mean, if it's a title fight, obviously I want to take that fight. And if it's a last-minute fight with, a well-known opponent, like you're talking like this, Cruz or TJ or Sansa or something like that, then yeah, I would love to jump in and take that fight if their opponent got hurt.
Definitely. And let's talk about the matchup. Dodson is a big name in the division, like you said. He hasn't really found his success since his move back up. How do you see this fight playing out?
You know what? I'm always looking for the finish. I've been with my teammates who are, unbelievable lefty and getting ready for the fight. You just never know what's going to happen when you get in there. And, he's fast, but the one thing that, he does, and you see in all his previous fights, is he moves a lot. He moves away a lot. It doesn't, he tries to jump in, engage, and then run out right away. So that's the only thing that it's kind of downside fighting Dodson is that he doesn't want to stay there like kind of like a Lineker or other guys and punch and bang away. He runs a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see how the cards unfold and, just working on some game plans so this way I could catch him.
Yes, because he has been often criticized for backing up and maybe not engaging as much as people want him to. Do you plan on bringing the fight to him? I mean, is there a fear of being over-aggressive out of frustration? Because you're usually a pretty calculated guy in there.
Yeah, no, you can't be over-frustrated with that. He's a guy that moves a lot. You can't be with anybody that, moves a lot and that backs away a lot. You just got to take your time and inch your way in. And that's it. You get over-frustrated. The guys who watch Dodson, the guys that jump in are the guys that end up getting knocked out or end up getting rocked. You can't jump in. You gotta take your time. So that's what I'm going to do. Even like Lineker fought him. He took his time. He inched his way in. There was a couple times he jumped in, but he was ready. He defended himself well, except for some head kicks.
Yeah, and this past weekend we saw TJ defend his title against Cody. First of all, were you surprised at the way the fight played out?
You know what? I had TJ winning, but I thought it would go the distance, to be honest with you, or TJ would get a finish in a later round. I didn't see that first round coming. And you could tell how emotional kind of Cody got looked like in that first round, and that kind of looked like it left him open. But maybe he didn't. I kind of looked from a point of view of watching from outside on TV. It looked like a little bit, but I was very surprised it was going to be the first round. You got a first round knockout. I thought it was either 4 or winner by decision, but I had TJ winning.
And you're not in a bad position, right? The 3 top dogs, so to speak, of the division, TJ, Cody, Cruz, you've never fought. So however the title changes hands, they're all fresh matchups for you.
Yeah, you know what? Looking at it, and TJ's talking a lot, I could see like 3 outcomes was TJ fight. I could really see the UFC pushing the Cruz fight. That's a good money fight for him. Or TJ dropping down to 25 to fight Seguro. The only thing between that with Demetrius Johnson and Henry, if Demetrius Johnson doesn't, fight him right away as a rematch, then yeah, I can see TJ going down right away. But it was a close fight, so I can see the rematch as long as DJ is good, and I can see TJ fighting Cruz to get back that one loss he had, or I can even see the trilogy with Assunção. Assunção has notable wins over Marlon and has beat TJ before, and right now they're 1, so you can see the trilogy fight going on. 2 as well was Assunção, who's on a 4-fight winning streak and is doing pretty well. So you don't really kind of interesting how the next 6 months are going to go. You know what I mean? It's really good. This year finishes up with the Bantamweight division.
Definitely. And what are your thoughts on TJ Dillashaw? I mean, what haven't people been able to figure out when fighting him, in your opinion?
I think you see them in his last 3 fights. So he had actually can't say that because after Cruz he fought like 2 more times, right? He fought Assunção and he fought John Lineker.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yes.
I don't remember. So given his last 3 big fights, his 2 title fights was Cody and his fight was Cruz, The fight was Cruz was kind of close. I think what was big is that he did miss a few times, and Cruz was able to capitalize on some big takedowns in the fight. I think that's what really helped Cruz out to get that win. And then you see the fight was Cody, where he knew already Cody from training with him. He knew how to get to him, and he knew what his weaknesses were. So it kind of helped him, I think, especially to get the finish with the fight. So his last 3 fights, he's been really good. I think he's just he has a different style when they come in and fight. So styles really make fights, and you can see styles. Some styles, will reign for a long time. Some styles will get beat. I think he's tough. I think he's, definitely a good champion. But anybody can get beat.
Interesting. And when Cruz fought TJ, who did you think won that fight?
You know what? I thought when I was there, TJ won. And then when I was getting ready for Cruz and watching that fight, you watch it again and you really watch it very closely. I believe Cruz won that fight because Cruz made him miss a lot. And then Cruz had those takedowns, which I really think that kind of it was a close fight that really helped him win the fight. And that was one of the big things about it. Even though, I know one of the takedowns, TJ got back up, but he had a couple of takedowns where he didn't get back up right away, and Cruz was on top of him for a little bit. So I think that was a big aspect to it. Besides, when you see the exchanges, if you watch closely, there were some times that, or a good majority of times, that TJ didn't connect with anything. He threw, but nothing really landed. So watching that fight again, and a couple times actually, you really, Cruz got that one.
I see. And ideally for you, should you get past Dodson, who would you like to fight next? I know, of course, the title shot would be the number one option, but if not, who do you feel like would make sense for you next? Do you have kind of like a vision moving forward in this division of like kind of the plan?
I don't have anything yet. I think my main focus right now is Dodson. And, I get the win over him, knock on wood. Of course, after with Joe Rogan or who's ever on the mic with me, I'm going to call out my next person. So it's kind of like a little surprise in a way. But right now, I'm just primarily focused on fighting Dodson, get in there, get my hand raised.
And have you been told where your fight is going to be on the card, like the pay-per-view portion, prelims, anything like that?
I think I think, and I hope so, it's on the prelims. Free TV is always the best. It's kind of hard depending on the pay-per-views. It's a hit or miss. It could be a great pay-per-view sell, and it could be bad. And when you have free TV, everybody's kind of watching, and bars have it on and stuff like that. They don't have to pay for it because you go out some places, all of a sudden the prelims are over and you don't see the pay-per-view because they're not playing the fight. Mm-hmm. So I don't mind the prelims at all. I know some people kind of like, I want to be on the main card, but me, free TV is always the best.
And do you think with the card they've put together for 228, Woodley, Darren Till, Valentina Shevchenko, Nico Montano, a couple other solid fights, do you expect that pay-per-view to do well? Yeah,
I think it should do well. You got good 2 title fights. You got finally the 25 champ at flyweight for the women's defending her belt, and Valentina's a tough opponent and is well known. And you got Woodley and Darren Till, who are 2 beasts going up there and fighting. So I think it's going to be a well known card. But you never know. You know what I mean? You never know, and you never know if some people are waiting out because they know the next month is sometimes. Pay-per-views add up, especially when the UFC does one almost every month. So, some people are definitely going to wait out. They might wait out for October for that Conor fight because I don't think that pay-per-view will be just a regular, whatever it is, $59.99 pay-per-view. I think that pay-per-view is going to be a little bit more than what people pay for it.
Oh, yeah? You think? Because the funny thing is they announced the co-main event for that event, and then people weren't too happy with it, but I get the feel that they won't stack that card just because they know people are paying for it anyway. So why put in the other? Although it's beneficial for those other champions to get the exposure, but why put in those other champions when you know that people are buying it for Khabib Conor, and maybe they just want to save the champions for the other pay-per-views for the rest of the year?
They could. I mean, that's. I think everybody wants to see Conor fight. And he hasn't fought in a while. Everybody wants to see Khabib fight Conor, and everybody wants to see that fight. So I don't think they have to pick crazy fights on the pay-per-view card because I think, like you said, everybody's going to buy it. But who's the co-main event? Because I actually don't know.
Co-main event is Derek Lewis. So many.
Oh, against
Volkov. Yes, Alexander Volkov. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I love Derek Lewis. I think Derek Lewis is a little bit of a head case. if he just lets go, he can knock out everybody in his division. So, if the right Derek Lewis comes up and shows up and swinging his bombs, then it's going to be exciting co-main event. But if that Derek Lewis from his previous fight shows up, that's kind of, holding back and, being, very conservative, then it's going to be a boring co-main event. So you don't really know how that one's going to play off.
For sure. A couple of things before I let you go. I really do appreciate your time. Do you have a prediction for Khabib and Conor?
I'm sorry, say that. You know what? I want Conor to win, to be honest, and I'm feeling that it's going to be a knockout. It's going to be that left hand right on the chin.
And if TJ and Cruz were to rematch, who do you have in that fight?
If TJ and Cruz were to rematch, I have TJ in that fight. I think TJ is going to, come back with a better game plan and win. And I think he'll have his hands raised at the end. I think it goes to distance. So I don't think it's going to be a knockout. It goes to distance, but I think TJ will come back with a better game plan and win that fight.
All right, one last thing. How do you get the job done against Dodson? Do you envision a specific outcome?
Just go in there and push the pace. Fight him like the other guys falling, like Pedro and Lineker. Just keep coming forward and break him down.
Awesome. All right, guys, you can catch Jimmie Rivera on September 8th when he takes on John Dodson at UFC 228. The lineup hasn't been set yet, but regardless of the placement of this fight on the card, you don't want to miss this. As high level of a fight as you can ask for in the division. Jimmy, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and best of luck next month.
No problem. Thank you.